We're back with our friends over at Sole Supplier, using their information and relying on them to get the information that I'm bringing to you guys today. And what I'm talking about is a drop date for these guys right here. You're seeing a set of 4 UltraBOOSTs tying up with the Lego line. And according to the guys over at Sole Supplier, these ones are dropping on July the 29th. Now, I'm shooting this literally at the end of the British Open golf tournament in the UK. I was literally just watching it. It's now like 2:30 in the middle of the night, and I'm shooting this video because I try to shoot a video every single day, otherwise I get sort of behind the curve and end up chasing my tail a little bit. So I'm trying to keep up with the daily content from Tokyo, Japan. Boy just won the British Open with a Japanese family named Morikawa, although he's American, but we'll take what we can out of it. But yes, I've been out here in Tokyo, Japan for like 20 odd years, bringing you guys content about sneakers, upcoming sneaker releases and sneaker news and sneaker reviews. And what we've got here is a little bit of confusion, because what they're saying is these guys are coming, Sole Supplier are saying these guys are coming on July 29th, but other places are saying that some of them have already dropped and some of them haven't. But I don't know about the drop dates, but what I do know is a lot about UltraBOOST sneakers, because I've got a bunch myself, but I've also followed the line for a very long time, and I have a lot of faith in the Boost midsole technology. And also I do know a lot about the Lego tie-up, because we've already done 2 of them from the Adidas line. We already did this here, which was just a straight up toy superstar, and I thought we were done there. I thought that was it. We're just going to be doing this toy that's coming out, and people who are interested in Lego and getting toys is it's a video for them. And then bang, they actually went ahead and brought out an actual superstar that's tying up with that Lego line that you can actually wear, unlike the actual toy that you can't wear. And then here we have 4 UltraBOOSTs coming down the line as well, with that sort of Lego on them. Now, unlike the superstars really had an awful lot of little details in them that supported that Lego collaboration. But these, I'm only really seeing 2 places where the Lego comes forward, and the rest is very much kind of standard UltraBOOST. If anything, they're a little bit below par for UltraBOOST. For example, one of the things that we'll be talking about today is this right here, is the toe box on one of the shoes. I'll probably use the blue toe box because that's a really easy one to see. There's 4 different colorways that we'll be talking about, and that blue toe box on there tells you that the materials that are in this shoe are not quite the high quality that you'd normally get in UltraBOOST shoes. And we'll come back to that in a minute, but first I want to go back to the whole set and look at what's going on there and give you guys some information about the colors in particular, because it's them that really play a big role in this. And I'm going to try and get this right, but basically there's 4 shoes and there are 2 color bases. And what I mean by that is that 2 of the shoes, their base color is black, and 2 of the shoes, their base color is white. But it gets really complicated because they don't follow a sort of linear story, and it's I'll try and explain about the colors and the way it works. So you've got the 2 black base and the 2 white base. Now within those 2 black and those 2 white base, one of them has a colored midsole boost technology and one of them does not. So there's kind of a crossover in those terms. So one of the white base shoes has white boost on it, the other white base shoe has red boost on it. One of the black base shoes has white boost on it, the other black base shoe has a yellow boost on it. So there's a kind of crossover between the colors and between the boost technology that's going on in the shoes, and I kind of like that. I like that they're playing around with that a little bit. So that's the base color, but then on top of that you've got the actual colors, and there's green and there's yellow and there's blue and there's red, and they very much represent the bricks that you get in Lego and the standard coloring for those bricks. And it's a sort of true to the OG Lego colors that you'd have those 4 colors coming through into these 4 pairs of shoes. So that's kind of the background to the colors on there. The base colors in white and black, the overlay colors in the 4 sort of standard Lego brick colors, and then the coloring on the boost. And with that coloring on the boost, I might as well flip it out and go to the outsole. I think it's the red pair. We've got a good look at the outsole, and this is one of those disappointments for me. First, the thing I want to tell you about is usually, I don't want to say always, I'm pretty sure it is always, but I'm going to say usually. Usually with the boost, when they color it, they color the outside edge of it, but the boost itself is still white, and you can see that through this picture on the red outsole. You've got the continental rubber with the little windows that look through to the white boost. So even though the boost is colored red on the midsole, it's actually still white within the midsole, and the boost technology within the shoe is still white, and that's very obvious from this outsole here, like I'm saying. And that's kind of a big detail on any Boost sneaker, and a big sort of point to talk about in terms of the colouring and in terms of the technology that goes into that. And then coming forward from that, we go to the toe, and back to the toe. The two things in terms of materials that I wanted to sort of highlight on there. One is a strength, and it's going back to those colours, the yellow, the blue, the green and the red. Three of them, the yellow and the blue and the red in particular, the blue and the green in particular, have the colour of their blocks in suede at the front of the shoe. But then the other two, they don't have their colours. The yellow one, for example, has black on its suede, and then for some bizarre reason, the red ones have grey on their suede, and I don't know why. But that suede is high quality material. Great, you're thinking wonderful, that's a good addition to an UltraBOOST sneaker. But then behind that, you can see the toe itself is made from mesh, which is definitely, in my mind, a step backwards, because usually UltraBOOST sneakers would have a prime knit upper on them, which is an extremely high quality material, a knit feel to it, and it's a bit above mesh when you know, if you ask me, in terms of quality and in terms of design. So it's a bit of a disappointment to me on that. I was expecting a little bit more. Speaking of expecting a little bit more, a quick flashback to that outsole that we were looking at from the red shoe. I was expecting a bit more in terms of Lego branding on the outside of these guys. I thought they could have done a little bit more, but there goes my iPad. But they chose not to. They chose to go with a standard outsole, standard midsole, standard torsion unit on the outside of these guys. Actually, when it comes to the branding and the Lego collaboration, they only really went to it in two different places. One of them is on these three-stripe branding on the side, but it does have at least one detail on it that I do appreciate. So if we're close up on the Lego branding and that three-stripe branding for Adidas on the side, but you can see the bumps on the top of it that represent the Lego collaboration. But if you look really closely at any of those three stripes in the middle, you'll see a little crack that runs through it. And I think I'm right in saying, if I counted it correctly, it's 4 and 4, if you know what I'm talking about in terms of Lego. So instead of having an 8 strip down those three stripe brandings, they went for 4 and a tiny little crack to represent the split, and then 4 again. And I like that detail. It makes it much more authentically Lego, if you ask me. And then the other really big Lego flash on this shoe comes on the heel counter on these guys. A really big deal, especially when you talk about UltraBOOST 1.0 through 4.0. After that, when you got into the 2019s, 20s, 21s, they went with a kind of piping effect on there, but the classic UltraBOOST first generation sneakers had a very specific heel counter, heel cup that was very unique and a real step forward in terms of technology and design, real innovative thing on there. And that's where you see the extra little bit of Lego branding on the side with those dimples that run across that. But again, I was left a little bit disappointed because I was looking for a bit of contrast in the color between the heel counter and then the words UltraBOOST, which you see also on that molded heel counter on there. I was expecting a contrast in the colors so that the branding would jump off a little bit more on top of that Lego design on there, but it wasn't to be. This is how they've done it on all 4 of them. They've matched up the color of the heel counter with the color of the UltraBOOST branding on there. So it's to me, it's a missed opportunity. I would have liked to seen it a different way, but it's not the way they chose to do it. Now there are 2 things I haven't seen on these shoes, and I'm not sure what they look like. And one is the tongues, and I wouldn't mind betting they're very simple and they just go with the standard Adidas branding. It's an opportunity to go with the logo and the Lego tie-up branding on there, but I don't think they will have done them. But on the opposite side of that, I think when it comes to the outsole, I bet you they have, not the outsole, the insole, I bet you they have gone with Lego branding on the inside of these guys alongside that Adidas or UltraBOOST branding on the inside of them. So that's something for you guys to look out for these shoes. And I'm just going to wrap this one up with a nod back to that July the 29th drop date that they're saying for these. Now I'm pretty sure the blue ones have already dropped in some parts of the world, and maybe it's the rest of the set that's coming along the line. But like I said, it was the guys over at Soul Supply that are telling us when these guys are supposed to be dropping as a set, and they tend to get things right, at least for the UK, because they're a UK based site, and they do give us good information and pretty accurate information when they get it. So so this 4 set of Adidas UltraBOOST Lego collaborations coming down the line on July the 29th, something for you guys to look forward to. And then on July the 30th, they've got an absolute bucket load of really huge sneakers, especially Dunk Highs that are coming online. So there's a lot to look out for, a lot to be excited about in the sneaker world right now. It feels like there was a bit of a dip for a while. There was a bit of a drop in sneakers, a kind of lull in the sneaker game there, and things were kind of getting a bit sort of repetitive and boring, but then they've kind of stepped their game up and brought out some really big sneakers towards the end of July and into August as well. So there's a lot to look forward to in the sneaker game, a lot to look forward to bringing you guys at the channel. But for now, it's time to wrap this one up. Thank you guys for checking out the content, and I'll say the same thing that I say at the end of every single video, which is that I do this every single day, and that means that you are guaranteed to see me tomorrow.